Good evening, viewers. I'm called Emmanuel Kafuniza from Ibanda District. I'm one of the senior freedom fighters and presidential advisor on political affairs Western region. Here at Tunaweza offices, we definitely observe the SOPs and the wearing of masks, but I would wish to ask you allow me remove my mask for you to hear me properly. Since we are about to celebrate the Heroes Day, which is on 9th, I would like to share with you the journey through which some of us have passed. In 1979, when we had taken over government from Idi Amin, I was the General Secretary of the UNRF in Mbarara district, from where I joined the Political and Diplomatic Commission, headed by then Alari Umoja. Then, of course, it was not all well politically, and we knew now the dictatorship of Obote II was coming. So after the sham elections, I remember we congregated at His Excellency's by then Mackindy home, 1981, around Feb, I think. We were 9 people, and 6 have since perished. The late Magara Sam, the late Sam Katabarwa, late Nkuranga Rubereza, late Ahmed Seguya, late Joseph Nasasra. I don't still remember the 9th one. Me and my colleague Nasasra were not part of the group of Munduri, who had come from Munduri as the commanders by then under Museveni's command. So they first went in a meeting, after which President Museveni called me and my colleague Nasasra to join hands. By then, under UNRF, we had started organizing for a guerrilla war in Rwenzori mountains. So after the sham elections, we came and we met. We came and met at Mackindy, as I had said. And it's surprising, I'm glad God is very merciful that out of the 9, 3 of us are still alive. Myself, General Tumwine, and General Museveni. So what we passed through, we had agreed in that meeting that we join hands to fight the new dictatorship of Obote II. And the plan was to meet and hit Kabamba. So our group had prepared 7 people, fighters, who would be joined by the Museveni group from Kampala. And we had made our RV at one place called Tapacharmejere. Unfortunately, because of lack of coordination, there was nothing like any communication, gadget, no phones, nothing at all. On the agreed date, they could not arrive. Actually, what you hear as Tarehe ya Sita would have been Tarehe ya Tano if all had gone as per plan. So the M7 group, as it was coming from Kampala, got a problem with their car in Masaka. It broke down. And since there was no way to communicate to us, we waited for them. One day elapsed. On the night of the second day, we had to move to our other sub-base in Burunga. On our way back, we had some anti-tanks and gunfire. So we knew they had hit the target, but we knew they would come and join us because the agreement was that after hitting Kabamba, we would go to Rwenzori where we had already prepared the base, which was never to be so. We waited for any communication. It was not there until very many cadres we had mobilized started coming to us. After some crash, simple basic military training, we went to Rwenzori mountains where we had waited to get more communication from the M7 group. Oh, you see, now when we went to Rwenzori, under the leadership of UN Elephant dictatorship, whose political leadership was what they had termed as the Gang of Four, of Professor Rugumayo, Nabudere, Yashtando, and Omonyo Joke. When we failed to coordinate with our colleagues in Rwenzori after hitting Kabamba, we started training people both politically and militarily. Actually, we were the factory of NRA in Ruwero. All the cadres we had to be, we could send them to Rwenzori because we did not get the aid we had expected from our political leadership, which was outside the country. So by the time we joined hands, it was in '85, after Rutwa had taken over. And Rutwa Tito Kero. That is when we got in touch with the M7 group in Kasese, me and my colleague, Lieutenant Sasira. So we agreed, as we had been working together, to come and give more guidance and ideas to the NRA. By that time, I was one of the members of High Command of the NRF anti-dictatorship, and President Museveni called me that since the other time we had failed to coordinate, now that we have taken over power, we should join hands. So I had to be sent to Nairobi. I saw Professor Rugumayo, who invited his colleagues, and we joined the government. The contribution to this country under NRM government is great, infrastructure-wise. When you see institutions like health, roads, schools, immunization against diseases like polio is no longer in the country. Peace and security. Really, we need a lot of credit. Even those who don't have the spirit should be a little bit thankful. But I don't blame the young people, because with them, that is history they didn't see. So really, not to appreciate is because of the ignorance of not knowing what the previous governments were like. You know, being a hero is someone who selflessly gives his life, puts his life vulnerable to being perished for the sake of the nation, for the sake of the cause he's fighting for, without regard to his safety. In my view, that is what a hero should be. Someone selfish, rather unselfish, selfless. Someone who really gives all to his country, to his people, and who later serves himself above self. But you know, Rome was not built in one day, sincerely. When we took over, definitely a lot had to be done and priorities had to be set. Priority number one was actually to maintain security, peace, curb down the insurgencies of the Lakwenas, of Itongwa, and all that. Those were given priority. So the question of people not being appeased, for being disgruntled, they want quick returns. They don't appreciate the situation we are passing through. That really the priority is to serve the people, all the people, not necessarily those who participated in the struggle or who are engaged in various struggles. This, we believe, is a challenge, but at least they are getting some basics. They are getting some basics, and I'm happy about that. Of course, it's not satisfactory enough, but at least they have a living. They are not beggars, they are not needy. They may not be rich, some of them. And you can't satisfy everybody at the same time. You know, the cadres, the fact that what they fought for has been maintained, security and peace, that is enough reward for them. If they are real cadres, those who want to serve others above self, they should be very grateful to see that what they fought for in the first place is properly maintained. That should be the most important thing. And there has been avenues created through Operation Wealth Creation, through NADs. If they are serious people and you are given a cow or two or what, as a cadre, you should be trying to really show others and be a model farmer. A cadre should not be only a political cadre. He should be a social cadre. He should be a cadre in all aspects of life. Be an example. And those conditions are very ripe for any cadre to exploit and be happy. So when you talk about President Museveni as a revolutionary, indeed he is. He has done revolution. He has made and spearheaded revolution in infrastructure, in institution building, in cadre development, in sustaining peace and stability. And as a Pan-Africanist, definitely it is seen. He still knows all the African revolutionaries. He recognizes their contributions. He still tries to unite Africans And that is why he said, unless Africans get, a platform to realize themselves as Africans who are still in the bondage of colonization by Europe. And he recognizes his fellow colleagues like late Mandela, Mondorane, Samora Machel, and others, and trying to bring regional cooperation of East Africa, and trying to, to unite and harmonize one African people's ideas. Really is a true Pan-Africanist. Some of the cadres, are not his level. So you find that he's saying things that seem utopian to them because they have not comprehended what he's saying, and they don't understand really when he's trying to stress a point. He's far much beyond us. It's like someone in a secondary school and trying to teach someone in a nursery. The pace and the level of understanding and is different. So that is one of the most important challenges he's having, not being at par with the rest of the cadres. We are in phases. There are those who really grasp what his message is. I don't think we have an opposition, a serious opposition, because they are not ideologically led. They don't know what they want. It's a question of just opposing for the sake of it, because and they are not going anywhere. So I don't, in my view, really, I don't think we have a serious opposition. Serious opposition we have is in civil service, corruption in these institutions, not having cadres properly deployed in the right places to serve people. So, because the ordinary people cannot have what is theirs reaching them, it's actually the opposition. And another opposition actually are NRM themselves, the NRM cadres themselves, because some of the leaders may not have time to check on them and know their problems. When it comes to mobilization, they go during the elections at the 11th hour, they are called upon, and you see, after elections, they are not appreciated. So that causes them as if they are doing nothing. That is why when I was doing my research, I found that the support we got in 2001 as a party reduced by 26, and it has been reducing in subsequent, elections, just because most of the cadres go into mobilization not with the spirit of maintaining the quality of the government, but of some returns. So when they don't get the returns, they become disgruntled, more especially when even they are not appreciated or called upon. That is why I called some people and organized a cup of tea, and I roasted them a bull and thanked them for the work well done. And that gave them morale. The youth need guidance. I really don't blame them a lot. In our Chinyankore proverb, we call them little monkeys that laugh when their shirt is being on fire. You see, they don't know. They don't know, and it is not their fault. And we as leaders and the elders, really, we have an enormous task. They think with them they have just been born in a sane government where they have never seen the pandagaris. You can hear for yourself. Nobody ever could abuse the president as if he's a street kid, and he goes scot-free, talking whatever he wants. At times I just sit and say, no, it's because they have never tested the past governments. So I pity them at times. They need our counsel, they need our leadership, they need still our advice. But now the problem also is with the elderly. Now, I want to take this opportunity to thank all Ugandans. I want to wish His Excellency, the President of this Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, a very successful Heroes Day. I want to wish the Tunaweza group, which has integrated all other mobilizing groups, a good day on the 9th. The people of Uganda, the cadres of Uganda, women of Uganda, the Yellow Fighters of Uganda, the veterans, the well-wishers, the UPDF leadership and the police, and all security agencies, including prisons, the people of Uganda, women and men, the youth, and more, last but not least, the UBC leadership and the services they have keep rendering to the people of this country. I really admire you, and you are a real people's UBC, a very good media of communication. I thank you. God bless you.